Hello, hello, and welcome to the Notary Life with Kimmi Podcast. I am also one of the trainers with Notary Educators, which includes myself, Kimberly Nunnally, Angela Johnson, and Alexis Franklin. We each own our own very successful notary businesses and teach notaries in all 50 states to be great and grow their own business. We will discuss general notary work, apostilles, ink fingerprinting, and the duties of a notary signing agent, and much, much more. For all of your notary needs, please visit notaryeducatorsllc.com. We hope you enjoy the show, and we wish you much success. All right, well, we just have a minute left, so we want to officially welcome you all to our Notary Q&A on behalf of Notary Educators. I am Kimmi. We have Alexis here with us, one of our other trainers. She primarily focuses on the loan signing piece, Google My Business piece, and we all do everything. And I'm Kimmi. If you don't know, have a YouTube channel, Notary Life with Kimmi. Also part of the Notary Educators training team. And again, we all teach everything. I kind of focus on the Notarize like a pro piece, the foundation of getting our notary started. A lot of times that's where we find people have the hardest time just getting started because of a lack of knowledge. Just really briefly, as I was stating earlier, I became a notary after my sister was ill and her friend came by the hospital and was just telling me what her profession was. And I was like, really? You can make money doing that. So I started learning, and then I decided I wanted to share everything I knew. And I started my channel, and people would reach out and say, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? And they were finding things to be kind of complicated. And I'm really good at simplifying things. So I was able to use that gift and be able to help people in the industry. So Alexis, you want to share just a little bit about yourself, and then we'll hop into tonight's topics.
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Alexis. I have been a notary since 2020. I followed after Kimmi's footsteps after she became a notary, and she was telling me all the good things she was doing out there. I was like, let me go ahead and give it a try. And from there, I just built out my business and started incorporating different services. And yeah, now we're here 4 years later, and it's been a journey. I can't believe it's been that long, actually, right? But yeah, so now we're here, and now we just want to share everything we've learned along the way with everyone else.
So for those of you who do not know, the sister that I'm referring to that was ill in the hospital, I actually lost her in 2019, and that is Alexis's mom. So Alexis is my niece. So many of you may not have known that. So she is my niece, and I'm so happy she's working the business with us. And Angela's a dear friend. Known her over 20 years. We got reconnected during COVID. She just happened to call me out the blue about something, and I answered my phone with my mobile notary greetings. And she was like, I know you was a notary. And then my business had started picking up, and then I started sharing business with her. And then she was like, I might as well do my own business. So I encouraged her to become a signing agent because she was not a signing agent at the time, had no interest in becoming one. And I was like, well, if you're going to teach this, you need to be one. So she went ahead and got her notary signing agent certification through the internet, which we'll talk about shortly. So again, we want to welcome all of you who may be new to the notary space, who are trying to grow your business. And just briefly, I wanted to talk about, we have a little outline. It's very brief because we really want to focus on your questions and how we can best help you in your business and get started. But most people don't even know what a notary is. So you might have saw a YouTube video, or someone told you about it, or girl, have you heard people making money doing ABC? Oh, I got a tickle in my throat, y'all. Sorry. Sorry about that. I just ate some hot chips before I came on. So anyway, so you might have watched a YouTube video, saw a TikTok, and it's like all this money you can make. You can make all this money. But what is the main role of a notary? The main role of the notary, though, is to make sure that we help prevent fraud when documents are being signed. So again, it's not something where you have to go to school for 10 years. You have to take a lot of courses with, thousands of modules. Once you get the basics of what your duties are, then we find most people are more confident and able to start their business. Now, a lot of us have never had businesses, right? So we don't really know how to build it out, which also can be frightening. We'll talk about that in just a second. But the other piece of it is, how do you become a notary? If you are here tonight and you are not a notary, the main thing you will do is go to your state, because each state has a little bit, their process may be just a little bit different. So like in Georgia, we have our division that handles notaries, but then we also have the Secretary of State. 99% of you will go to your Secretary of State to start the process. And you will receive what's called a commission. It's not called a license. You'll often hear people say, I got my license. It's called a commission. And you're typically commissioned for 4 years. There are a few states that allow even 10-year commissions. Typically it's 4. A couple of them are 2. But for 4 years, so you're able to notarize documents, identify people, make sure they are who they say they are. That's your most important duty out there, is to make sure. So are most of you already notaries? If you can just maybe, since most cameras are off, maybe you can find the little emoji thing and say thumbs up if you are, or just shake your head. Are most of you already commissioned notaries? I see a lot of thumbs up. Okay. And a few no. Okay, very good. Very good. So for those of you who may not be, I'll encourage you just to start at your state level, which is going to be the Secretary of State. And they are going to be the ones to outline your next steps. Typically, it's just having 2 people say that they know you. Again, each state is just a little bit different. That form actually has to be notarized sometimes. And the notary at the commission office, they can notarize it for you too sometimes. So that's very state specific, that piece. Okay. Overall, being a notary, though, all of your documents will not originate in your state. So if you're in Texas, all of your documents will not come from Texas. I'm in Georgia. All of my documents do not come from Georgia. Matter of fact, the signing I had tonight was from Iowa. The people were selling a property there. So that's why the way we teach is not for you to be overly concerned about, oh, I have to see every single document. The way we teach you is how to be a notary. Can you imagine a surgeon? And his main part of the body that he works on is hearts, right? Right? Can you imagine him saying, I have to see the heart of a Black person. I have to see the heart of a white person. I have to see the heart of an Asian person. A heart is a heart, right? Yes, it's the same thing with documents. A document, a piece of paper, is just a document. You just need to know how to properly notarize the document, what your notarial duties are. There's no way for a surgeon to see every type of person. What if he says, well, I need to see the heart of a taller person, or I need to see the heart of a short person? You understand what I'm saying? It's the same thing in notary signing agent space, notary world. You will never see every single document. And that's what stalls a lot of people from starting their business. I have to see the documents. Well, we want to overcome that fear with you and help you to see that once you learn how to properly notarize, if you haven't already seen my video, you can even notarize a piece of toilet paper. Did you guys get to see that video? Yes. Well, it's on my channel if you have not. You can even notarize a piece of toilet paper. Okay. So that's how broad your documents will come in the form of. So if you know how to notarize, you know how to notarize. And that's what we specialize in. So the last piece I'll add on just general notary, or just being a notary, is that a lot of people will tell you, well, I don't think it's that notarizing or knowing how to notarize is the most important thing. You need to know how to market. You need to know how to market. Anybody can teach you how to stamp a piece of paper. If that were the case, we wouldn't be having so many problems out here in the notary signing agent space. People do not know how to notarize. They know how to market, but they don't know how to properly notarize. So back to the doctor analogy. The doctor has this big old office, all shiny and new furniture, but you find out he's never performed a surgery. Is that who you really want to do it, or he's not comfortable? He only learned so much. He didn't learn all the parts or all the moving pieces of being a surgeon, right? But he got a beautiful office now. So that's what we find a lot of notaries, unfortunately, are falling into that. And they don't know. So what you don't know, right? So we want to expose you to the fact that once you do have that good foundation, knowing how to properly notarize, now we can move on to the next step, and that's building out our business. So I've talked about just becoming a notary, what those steps are. Start at if you're taking notes. So if you're thinking about becoming a notary, or you need to find out exactly what your notarial duties consist of, not the notarization piece, because most states don't teach that. That's why we had to end up creating our course, Notarize Like a Pro, because that's how we teach you how to properly notarize. We'll come back to that later. But you can go to your Secretary of State and you can apply there. Typically less than $100. Our state is like 48 based on county, which county you live in. But it doesn't cost a lot to become a notary. It's a nice side business, and it can actually be full time for those who are able to. Now, we don't encourage everybody just to quit their job and become a notary. You will hear me say that all day long. Okay. However, it's nice money that you can make on as a side. I even hate to say side hustle, but as a smaller business owner. And then if you wanted to scale it into something else, then you can do that also. So I've talked about the steps to becoming a notary. I want Alexis to address what a notary signing agent is. How do you become a notary signing agent? And is there a difference between that and just being a notary? Okay.
Yeah, so all things notary signing agent. So first, what is a notary signing agent? So Kimmi gave you the basis of being a notary, and that is the foundation of being a notary signing agent. You have to first be a notary and know how to notarize. That's the key thing. You do want to make sure that you know how to notarize. A notary signing agent is simply a notary who is trained to handle loan documents, loan packages, when people are selling, buying, refinancing their home. They entrust in notaries to execute those documents because the documents need notarizing. And they want to make sure that that notary is competent in handling those documents and successfully completing the different areas that the signer has to complete. So with that being said, you do want to make sure that you have some type of training in regards to being a loan signing agent. And like I said at first, a notary. So those go hand in hand. So that's what a notary signing agent is. So how to become a notary signing agent? So again, first I can't stress it enough. You want to make sure you're a notary for your state, and you want to make sure that you know how to notarize. After that, you want to ensure that you have proper training, and you want to be NNA certified. NNA is National Notary Association. They are the gold standard when it comes to being a notary signing agent. So we partner with different signing companies, and also we can partner with direct, like the title companies. They can send you work as well, or you can go through like a third party, a signing service that has partnerships with these title companies, and they're able to give you the notary or the notary signing agent jobs. So you do want to make sure that you are NNA certified, or again, the National Notary Association. And with that, you take an exam and you do a background check. After that, you will be certified once everything comes back good and you pass your exam. That is what people are asking for when you start to sign up with different signing companies. You'll go to like platforms, different ones. I'll just say one, Signing Order, for instance. You'll go there and you'll take your credentials. They'll want your background check that you got from NNA. Some of them will ask for your NNA profile link. So once you pass that exam and do the background check, you'll have a profile with the NNA. So sometimes they'll want that information as well. So that's how you'll become one. You'll make sure that you get some proper training, which we offer the loan signing training, and you'll take that exam, that NNA exam, and do the NNA background check. And you want to ensure with that, I'll just add this little piece too, with anything we do, notary or loan signing agent, but especially loan signing, ensure that you have some type of E&O insurance or errors and omission insurance as well. Okay, so that's the foundation of becoming a notary signing agent.
And even for regular notary work, we're going to encourage you to have errors and omission insurance. You would not drive a car without car insurance, we hope. So we are not notarizing any documents without being covered, okay? That's the other piece of that you would need to start your business, along with basic supplies. We go over that. Angela, I know that you've joined us. Are you in a position to talk about, because now we'll just talk about some of the additional streams of income that are available to, so someone's asking, what are the types of notaries? So really everything falls under the one category of being a notary. Everything, you're just a notary. You're just a notary. Now, in addition to just being a notary, which is your main hat, your main bucket, within that bucket, now you can do some loan documents. Now you can do ink fingerprinting. Now you can do this. Everything at the end of the day, you're really just a notary. But you are paid a little bit more for being able to execute loan documents. And that's where that notary signing agent position comes from. So everything starts with being a notary. Angela, I saw that you joined us. Are you in a position to talk? Or if not, I'll talk about the other additional streams of revenue as a notary, and then you can double back to apostilles. You're welcome, Yari. So while we wait on Angela, so under that same umbrella, now the following things that I'm going to talk about, you do not have to be a notary in order to have these as a revenue stream. You don't have to be a notary. However, notaries are typically called upon because we've already been background checked by the NNA. They know that we're pretty, we pay close attention to detail as notaries. So that's why they will call us. So you have the ink fingerprinting, okay, is another stream of income. Now, you don't get phone calls for that all day, but when your phone rings, you do want to know how to do it. So I had one yesterday, actually. I hadn't had one in a while, but again, when the phone rings, I do know how to do it. Another stream of income as a notary is being able to complete the I-9 form. Now, the I-9 form is not stamped. It is not stamped as a notary, but they ask us to fill it out again because we know how to look at IDs. We know how to write the information down. So that's an additional stream, okay? Then you have the apostille. I'll go ahead and talk about that. I'm not sure if Angela will be able to, but the apostille is where a document is leaving the United States going outside of the country. It needs a higher level of authentication. It's a pretty detailed job. That's why they call us again. The average person doesn't want to be bothered with it. They're like, I'll just pay you to do it. I have a lady I'm working with right now. She has 2 documents that need to go to Mexico, 2 power of attorneys for her parents. They're trying to sell a property over there. So again, I don't speak Spanish, right? But those documents are going to be in Spanish. So you need to know how to handle that. So all of those additional things that we're talking about is a skill set. Some people say, well, you can just learn it on Facebook. You can just learn it here. You could try that. And a lot of things I self-taught, a lot of things. But I'm just that person. The average person is not. So what we do is take the years of experience it takes to learn something and trial and error, what we have made mistakes on, and we're able to now come in and refine it and give it to you in a nutshell and, pretty quick without all the extra 2,000 modules or 5 hours worth of testing that none of these companies are going to ask you about anyway. You just need to know what you're doing. Knowledge is power when it comes to this notary business. Angela, I do see you joined us. So if you want to piggyback a little bit about apostilles, introduce yourself, please. And then Alexis, let you hit some of the chat, and then we'll open it up for everybody, okay?
My name is Angela, and I'm also 1/4 of Notary Educators team. And I have a apostille training course. I did hear what you say, Kim, but one thing that I just want to add about apostilles is that it can be a very lucrative part of your business, because when loan signing is slow or notary is slow, then apostilles are there. For instance, notary has been slow for me. I don't know about you guys, but it's been really slow for me. But I got like 7 apostilles this week already. And so that's something, like Kim mentioned about fingerprinting, if you know how to do it when it comes around, then you can be successful in adding that service and then, benefiting from it. But also, people do not know what apostilles are, even if they need one. They can't barely pronounce the word. And so it's very important that you are able to walk them through it and to help them understand even why they need it or what's the purpose of it, because they don't know any of that. So if you're trained to be an apostille agent and you know what you need to know, then the person will come back to you. I'll give you one example of what happened to me last week. A gentleman from Valdosta called me and he needed an apostille. His fiance is in Bolivia. I told him what he needed, but she was telling him, don't do that. You don't need to do that. And I told him step by step what was needed in order for him to be married over there. Well, he listened to her and he came back 3 days later and said the documents were rejected. And I asked him what happened. I said, did you need something additional? Do you need another document? He said, no, it's exactly what you said. He said, go ahead and do everything you said you were going to do. So if you know what to do and you can explain it to them, they're going to come back to you. I have repeat customers, for apostille. So it's a very lucrative service that you can add to your business.
And I was telling them earlier that you were not actually a notary signing agent until I twisted your arm to do so. And
that's true. I did. I wanted to have nothing to do with it. Notary signing agent. I like the quick, fast, easy money. Notarize the document, stamp it, bye, see you later. I don't have to worry about scanning nothing back. So Kim twisted my arm, because I already knew how to do loan documents because I had worked for attorney's office for years. And I'm like, I don't want to do that, So Kim did persuade me to do it. And I do it. It is part of my services. I have a few direct companies that call me. So I'm glad I did it. So it has added a lot to my business.
Which is another stream of income. So you're just got your general notary, then you have your notary signing agent. So that's an additional stream. Because all notaries do not do mortgage documents. Okay, they don't have the credentialing for that. So Alexis, why don't we start with a few questions in the chat and then we'll come over and get some questions. You can go ahead and put your hands up if you like. If you want to talk live, or we're going to do the chat too. So whatever you prefer. Of course, we like to hear you live. You can express yourself better too. So whatever you prefer. But you want to hit a couple of those, starting maybe with that DR?
Yeah. So you said DR. I see the name, the first one. Is that the one?
That's me. Hello, that's me.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi. Yeah.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
I had a question regarding the insurance, the errors and omissions. How much of the insurance do you need? And also, do you need to have a liability too, or just the errors and omissions?
Are you going to answer, Alexis? You want me to?
Oh, yeah, I can. So with the errors and omissions, I'll say this. I have 25,000, and I've been dealing with 25,000. If in the event that I start, let's say I only do loan signing day in, day out, there's a lot of room for error, so to speak, because I'm doing 3, 4, 5 a day. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably go ahead and bump it up a little.
Okay.
But me personally, for what I do, I feel comfortable having 25,000 worth of insurance for what I'm handling now, if that makes sense. But they offer all different, 25, I think 50, 100,000. I even seen a policy for $1 million.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
and
I'll save that if they want to add anything.
And what about the liability? Do you need liability on top of that, or just the errors and omissions?
You don't necessarily need liability, but you are a business owner, so to speak. So whatever additional policies you want to add, if you're going into somebody's home or whatever the liability policy will cover, if you feel that it would be necessary for your business, then I would suggest it. I personally don't have it. I'll say that.
Okay.
So
I have another question.
Let's add a little clarity too with that errors and omission insurance. Errors and omission insurance covers you in general notary work. Mm-hmm. It covers you when you are acting as a notary signing agent dealing with mortgage documents, right? Anytime you're stamping, every time you're stamping, okay? Mm-hmm. What it does not cover is if you missed your FedEx deadline. It does not cover if your documents get wet and you miss the deadline. It doesn't cover if you step on the cat's tail or if you run into their mailbox. Okay.
Okay.
So you're covered with errors and omission in the role every time you're stamping, but anything else is not covered. That's where a lot of notaries get confused on that too.
I just want to add another piece to that, you guys. And so $25,000, like Alexis mentioned, is sufficient, but sometimes some companies may require more. And it's only if a company, for me, require more to be a part of their company signing agent people that I personally would get more. So in some instances, some companies may require more, but $25,000 is very sufficient for your E&O insurance.
Okay, thank
you. And I will add this, and this is not what we're relying on when it comes to this insurance piece. Mm-hmm. The signing companies also have insurance. So they're not just sending you out there blindly, Miss Denise with $1 million house thinking that you're going to be able to cover that if something go wrong. You understand what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you still want to have your own insurance, but believe it, they have their insurance too. But that's, again, why we need proper training, because we're not relying on your insurance. We're not relying on their insurance. We're relying on knowledge and making sure we know how to execute those documents. So if I have insurance or not, I still need to know how to notarize. I forget I have insurance because I'm not relying on that. Some people say some people do say I have a car, something happened, it's insured. I don't feel like that even about my car. I'm a little old fashioned. I work hard and I ain't trying to give it to State Farm. Okay. So that being the case, we don't just say I got insurance, so I just go out there willy-nilly stamping documents. We still want you to know what to do.
Right. Okay. And just like your car insurance, you don't want high policies because you're messing up.
Right.
You have wrecks, have a car wreck. What happens the next time, you renew, your policy is going to be way high. It's the same thing with any insurance.
Okay. I have another question regarding loan signing. I've been thinking about doing that. I don't have the training for it yet. But I wanted to know, I'm in South Carolina, and that's an attorney state. I know Georgia's an attorney state too, correct? Do you get loan signings from signing? How do you handle that with a signing agency if you're an attorney state? And will you get enough signings if you're an attorney state? Those are the questions I have about that.
Yeah, so I'll keep it short, and then if they want to add, they can add. But basically with an attorney state, I'll just keep it simple to not confuse you. Attorney does have to be involved with certain signings. The rest of let's say there are multiple signings. An attorney has to be a part of very few of them out of all of the types that there are. Okay, so that leaves us room to do the ones that where an attorney isn't necessarily attached. But there is one that we might assist with where an attorney will be attached to it, and we're just assisting the attorney essentially. So we'll still be there and we're still needed, and we'll be with the attorney and the client, and we'll still carry out a signing as needed. We're still a part of the transaction though. And we'll bring the documents, notarize them. We'll still do the same thing. So it's still a lot of room for you to get assignments.
So is it like just the purchase piece is the attorney and then like home equity is not, something like that?
So certain types.
Okay. All right.
For example, so to your point, and home equity would be one where an attorney may be involved, or a refi, because that property can be taken. So in our state, they are waiving their rights to an attorney. So some states, if you don't pay your mortgage, you can stay there for 6 years, but not in our state, not South Carolina, not Georgia. If you don't pay, the next day they could technically put you out. Mm-hmm. So it's a whole lot involved with that piece. But to answer your question also, Ms. Denise, don't forget earlier when I said all of your documents do not originate in your state. So the signing I had earlier today was from Iowa. My client moved to Georgia. The property is in Iowa. So they're not an attorney state.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They may be relocating from Florida to Georgia.
Okay.
So their documents came from Florida. They just happen to be in Georgia.
Okay.
Remember? Okay. And that's how we work a lot. Actually, 90% of my stuff is not even from Georgia.
Oh, wow.
I agree. Because I like what Kim mentioned. We have to remember that Georgia is the attorney state, But if the documents come from somebody who has property in Florida, I get a lot of California, Florida. So if you get a refinance, or home equity or anything from another state, then it doesn't matter that you're an attorney state because you're getting
Okay.
them from companies outside of Georgia.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, so there's plenty of room. And I will add one more piece, not just for Ms. Deneen by her being in an attorney state like we are. That's why we highly recommend knowing how to do more than just one thing. So if you are not doing a loan signing today, it doesn't matter because guess what? You're doing an apostille, and that's not regulated by the state. Okay, that's for everyone here. Apostille is not regulated by your states. Everyone can do apostille. If you're not doing apostilles, you're doing yourself a disservice. If you are not doing fingerprinting, you are doing yourself a disservice. If that phone can ring at any time. Where I have my most recent video is 19 ways to make money. If you haven't seen it, you want to check it out on YouTube. 19 different ways. So true. I mean, and they're adding different things every day. Car inspections, field inspections. I mean, I just got a thing the other day. Actually, yesterday, I just talked to them today to do something with some cars for somebody. I don't want to say too much about that here because I actually had got in trouble before.
She got in trouble.
The company reached out. They said, we did not ask you to advertise for us. So I'm very cautious about name dropping on my channel because of that. And this may go on YouTube. So yeah, I gotta be real careful. They were like, we ain't asked you to do all that.
And take that down.
Yeah.
And they told her to take it down.
I had to take it down, y'all. I had to take it down. And that was one of my most popular videos too. I said, oh my God. So I hope that answers your questions, Ms. Deneen. It would be
thank you.
Yeah, and we do offer the loan signing training, either self-paced or in person. So you have two options there. If you decide to do any of our courses self-paced, you have our email address. So you can always we're just an email away. Hey, I need clarification on ABC. But we're pretty thorough in the way we teach. So again, your first signing or so, it would be our pleasure to assist you and stuff,
And the course that you offer for that, either one, whether it's self-paced or in person, does that prepare you for the NNA exam, or do you have to take a class with them also?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes, it does. And just to talk about the NNA exam just a little bit, because I'm sure it's going to come up in the comments, it has changed. I just recently did a video on that also. So before it was just a straight 45 question ABC kind of thing, but now it's actually a little mini course. So they have little scenarios, and it's still, you may be able to get through it, but we know for sure you will once you actually train, because some people have taken their training and then they have to come back because they still just not, it's not clear. Mm-hmm. So I was able to pass it after 4 times. Now, y'all know I worked at the bank. Well, you may not know, but I have a banking background. So I worked at the bank before becoming a notary and at the hospital and stuff. So I'm pretty good at, documents and stuff, but it took me 4 times to pass it the first time because I just wasn't paying attention. I don't like to read.
She don't like to read.
I'm in the wrong business not to like to read. I know how to read in a couple languages, but I don't like to read. I like to watch stuff. I'm more of a visual.
And quite a few people have said that by taking our loan signing training, the NNA exam was much easier for them and they understood it.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got options there. So
all right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then I think we have Miss Maggie at 8:15.
Yes, Maggie asks, is LLC required for general notary work?
Angela, you want to handle that one?
I can. So you guys, an LLC is not required. And as a matter of fact, we encourage you not to spend a lot of money, with your business before you get your business going. For instance, there are some things that are important, that you get your notary supplies, that you get your Google business page up. You can always do an LLC later. An LLC is not a requirement in order to start your notary business. It's not a requirement in order to open a bank account to have an LLC. So if your county requires you to get a business license, you can open a bank account with that. You can use your name as the business until you decide you want an LLC. But don't go out spending a lot of money because in some states, an LLC can be very expensive, a couple of $100s. So it's really a business decision if you want to do that, but it's not a requirement.
And it's 800 in California. And don't let that stop you, though, from starting your business.
Right.
Because you can start it without it. And you may decide, you know what, I do a couple notarizations. You may say, you know, I don't want to be a notary. I don't want to go to people's houses. I don't want to be worried about dogs, you know. So anything can happen. So I always say, give yourself a few months. And then that's what I did. I doubled back. You know what? I think I want to do this. So then I start getting my LLC, EIN. And I've gotten a little slack about that because people will tell me, well, the EIN number is free. Why you tell people not to get it? I don't want you to start doing anything down that road until you're kind of sure. Yeah, the EIN is free, but then you got all these different numbers floating out there. So let's just kind of step it. We like to build over here, not just run out there and get everything you can just because you can.
And I got a point on that I haven't heard anybody say. So if you do have an LLC, you are the LLC. So you really don't even need an EIN. I do have an EIN and an LLC that I've had from previous businesses. And talking to my tax person, he's like, Angela, you are the LLC. He uses my social security number for my LLC when we do taxes. That's because I am the LLC. So I don't need to use the EIN. If I had a different S Corp or something else, then that would be different. So you just have to make sure you do your research. Don't be spending a lot of money trying to get all these things to make so you think it looks good, but just take your time and do step by step and get what you need to start the business. And as Kim mentioned, you may want to once you start making money, then you add things to it as you go.
And I would recommend going ahead and get the EIN once you do decide you want to be the LLC, because even with signing companies, I have them make and this is all going to be business decisions. So Angela does hers her way. I do mine my way. Alexis does hers her way. And you will do yours your way. But just for full disclosure, what I do, though, I do have an EIN for my LLC. And when I sign up with signing companies now, I like everything to go through my business name, not in Kimberly. So it goes through my business name, which is None Better Mobile Notary. So I like to keep a full separation between me and the business. And that's what the LLC, the purpose of that is in case somebody do want to come sue you, you know, they're suing None Better because Kimmi ain't got no money, but None Better don't either really, but if they really want to come after something, now it's a separation between me and the company. So that's just what I've chosen.
You have to make sure that you tell them what type of corporation you got. So you got an S Corp too.
Even when I had my regular, the S Corp is just a status with the taxes for the tax purposes. But I'm still just the LLC. But when I file my taxes, I'm under an S Corp, which is a whole nother situation. Y'all don't do it. Don't do it. I'm trying to get rid of it as we speak. But I'm still an LLC at the end of the day. And then everybody wants your social security number as you're signing up with all these different signing companies. So that's another reason why I like to use my EIN number. So my social is not just floating everywhere for me. And again, that's going to be a business decision. Next, we have Melisa with apostille and estate planning.
So we covered apostille already. I don't know if you all want to add it to that. But
yeah. So if you had an additional question about apostilles, put that in there for me because I know you were here on time. With the estate planning, that will fall under the general notary category. And that's just knowing how to properly execute those. I did just release about 2 months ago now an estate/trust package course, which is specifically for those people that want to work in the nursing homes with a lot of it with estate planning, with the trust packages and estate. It covers power of attorneys. It covers all of that. So that is an excellent course that you might want to look at to really be an expert and a pro at estate documents, so you can know some of the lingo. What's a testator?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was looking on the website. I'm so sorry.
I
was looking on the website and I couldn't find I found the apostille course, but I couldn't find anything on estate planning, and that's something that I was really, really interested in.
It's a great course too. Before we go any further too, and I didn't want to cut you off, don't buy anything just yet, guys. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now. So for everyone that was here live tonight, this may be recorded. It is being recorded rather, but it may go on YouTube, but we're not offering this discount code on YouTube. This is just for you here tonight, those who are in person. So we're going to give you a coupon code of SUMMER, SUMMER, and that's going to be for 70% off any of the self-paced courses, even the bundles. A full 70% off, and the coupon code is SUMMER if it was something that you were interested in, okay? And that's for the self-paced courses.
Thank you.
SUMMER. Oh, you're welcome. Did you have any other questions while we have you, Melissa?
No, that was it. I'm just glad to be here and finally be able to converse with you ladies.
Oh, welcome. Well, it's been
Glad to
our
have you.
pleasure. Yes. And for all details on all the courses, you can always check it out at the website. They're very detailed in the description, okay? Let's get Miss Jody, and then we'll come back to our chat.
Hey,
Hey,
I
welcome.
really just wanted to kind of ask, I have my commission. I've had it for a year, got it through work, but haven't done anything with it. Haven't even needed it at work either. So, I mean, nothing. So I did want to, because I do want to do more with this and, you know, make some extra money with it, make a business with it. I do want to take some training. And I know you have the live course and the self-paced course. What's the difference? I mean, is it, you know, more a learning style that would be the difference, or?
That's what I always say, Ms. Jody. The learning style, some people prefer that they just want, you know, they at their leisure, I'll get to it when I get to it. I'll do a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow. And the live pieces, and it's really kind of similar, but the live pieces that we're there. You can ask questions in real time. Some people really prefer to talk it out, like with a, you know, not by themselves. So that's the main difference. And we actually have a few courses, live ones this month. And we reduced the price and kind of took out a little bit of the content that was just, we felt like maybe overload, information overload, to give you even less of the fluff and exactly what you need. So you might check those out. So it just depends. The price point is just a few dollars difference now. So you may check that out and just see which you prefer.
Okay.
But either
Thank
way,
you.
yeah, the Notarize Like a Pro self-paced has been our, you know, top seller, because that's where most people need to start, is learning how to notarize. So, but all of the courses are really simple. The way we teach on YouTube is the way we teach everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Let's see. Let's go to Miss Jeanette. And let me know if I'm missing somebody, Alexis, because I can't see Angela.
Let me see. Yes, Jeanette was next. Having worked in higher education, dealing with international students, I'm interested in apostille work. Can you share some insight on that? That's what she said before.
Angela?
So Jeanette, do you have any additional questions other than the basic information we've shared? You're on mute.
Oh, that was in the
This was
chat.
earlier. Oh, in the chat?
That was from the chat, Angela. So she may
Yeah,
not.
right. Yeah, I was asking her, did she have any additional information other than the basic information we've shared? She was saying something, but she's on mute.
She might be trying to. Oh, she is?
If you do, I asked to unmute. If you do have additional questions, you can raise your hand and we can come back.
We can't hear you. Okay,
Hello, can you guys hear
Oh,
me?
there we go.
yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you now.
Hi, this is Jeanette. I don't have any additional questions. I think you guys pretty much covered everything I needed to know regarding apostille. So I'm good to go, I believe.
Okay, great. And
I did want to ask one more question, since I was popped on you guys' website. And I
sure.
see on here where you have some percentage off already. So the summer code that you just mentioned, is that in addition to that, or would that apply?
It'll trump that one, yeah.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
yeah, so I think they're like around 55-ish. Instead of that, that'll make them probably like 40 something
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
for those courses. And then Angela's course, the apostille, is a little bit more.
Okay, great.
Yes, a
Thank
little
you so
more.
much.
You're welcome. Our pleasure. And then we have Miss Maggie at 816.
Maggie asks, is the NNA certification a requirement? I I personally say it is a requirement. Other notaries I've come in contact with said it's not a requirement. I say it's a requirement in the sense that if you want to work with signing companies, they usually want you to have that NNA certification. The not requirement aspect of it is if you ever get loan documents from the general public, like on your general notary work side, the general public isn't going to be, they're not going to ask, are you NNA certified? They're going to ask, are you a notary? So they're looking for a notary. So in that aspect, no, it's not a requirement with general notary work. But when you start, going into direct work and going into being contracted out with signing companies, then usually it is a requirement that they want you to have that NNA background check and that exam completed.
So, for example, like Alexis is saying, the signing that I had tonight that I told you all was from Iowa. They called me direct, probably from my Google page. I'm going to ask her, how did they find me? I like to ask people what's working. How did they find me? But they didn't ask me, are you NNA certified? Because to Alexis's point, they don't care. However, when you try to work with SnapDocs or signing order, they will not let you work for those companies without having the NNA certification. So that's why the new thing, I'm going to say the new thing that's kind of floating around, because I just saw a YouTuber put this out the other day. You do not have to have the NNA certification. So technically, but they started out with saying that, right? Because we are YouTubers. So they doing like what's called clickbait, trying to get you to click. Like you're wasting your money on a certification. But then they did have to come back and clarify that if you want to work with certain companies or these signing companies that kind of have a database that feeds you work, then you do have to have that background check from the NNA. So we all have it. It's a minimal investment to be able to have another stream of income. So listen to this. You got your regular notary hat on. Then you have people calling you direct, like my person called me from Iowa, right? That's number 2. And then number 3 is working with the signing companies. Even though sometimes their offers are not the number that we want to see, it's an additional revenue stream. So that's 3 streams of revenue right there. Being able to work for yourself, the general public going to call you, and direct, the general public, and then the signing companies. Okay, so you don't want to just not get the certification figuring out, okay, I'll make it, I'm going to go straight direct. You may not go straight direct. Okay.
Right.
Did you want to add something to that, Angela? If not, we'll go on to 827.
No, you said it.
All right, so Marissa says, Alexis, you got it?
Yeah, Marissa says, can you be a remote loan signing notary? Live in Georgia. So in the state of Georgia, unfortunately, we cannot do any type of remote signings in the state of Georgia.
No remote online notary. And people say, well, it's coming. I'm going to get the course. If you live in Georgia, I'm going to recommend you do not buy a remote online notary course from anybody, because we don't have any clue if and when it will ever come. That's like you buy a car for your baby that's 6 months old.
But they're going to drive one day.
They may drive one day. That baby cannot drive no car, okay? Not the remote online notary in Georgia, okay? So anyway, let's move on next.
Next, Yari just says, especially in Florida, that you have to pay for everything.
That might have been a private conversation.
Oh.
All right, Linda, if we missed something there, Yari, let us know.
Yeah. Linda asks, where can I get extra forms to have on hand in case you make a mistake on a document at the signing?
So that's going to be part of your notary signing agent training, Linda, because you don't just print forms. You don't just print forms and take them to the signing, unless you're talking about extra acknowledgments and jurats that you can get from your state website. But when it comes to actual forms that's in the package, we don't just carry extra forms. Those forms are already pre-populated from the signing, from the lender. So we don't do that.
Yeah. So if the documents already have an acknowledgement, you wouldn't just take an extra one to exchange it.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. Are you here in person?
Yes. Can I? Well, we not ask a question because I have a lady that used to go to my church. She did general notary for about a couple of years, and she was saying she told me that she had printed out different copies of forms to take with her in case she had a miss of their document. She missed up their document. She have extra form to just keep the signing going on, regularly going on, rather than miss the whole appointment. So that's why I asked the question.
Oh, yeah. No, we don't have any extra forms like that. Now, you're normally printing 2 copies, one for you, one for the signer. And if a mistake happens, we can pull from their package.
Mhm.
And we were going to leave them and replace it with the one we messed up. But normally we don't just walk around with extra documents. Like, so if the signer's, let's say if the signer's affidavit was messed up for some reason, they had a bunch of scratch outs and you messed up something, we don't just have an extra affidavit in our bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as a general notary, you just only sign there, because every time I've gotten anything notarized, I just took my paper that I had to the notary, and they stamped it, and that was that. But
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happens. Now, there may be additional documents that you need to have in your bag, and we talk about that, such as, blank acknowledgments, blank jurats. Because remember, I told you can even do a piece of toilet paper, right? But it needs to have some notarial wording on there. So that is what I would carry in my bag, something like that. But that may be a little bit deeper than just a 30-second question here. Because that goes into process and procedures, how to actually notarize.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
okay,
but
when you said notary wording, can you elaborate on that just a little bit, please?
yeah, the actual notarial block, like that's what I mean. That's like actual training. But so there's on documents, there's an actual notarial block, the notarial wording. So where you sign as the notary, that may be missing from a document. So you need to know how to add that. And there's several ways to do it,
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so that may be something you're referring to, but you probably could benefit from a little bit of training there.
Yeah, because I'm a notary.
Put it all together.
Yeah, I'm a notary. I've got my permission. I got the whole everything, and but I hadn't did any type of notary work at all thus far. And I think I'm overthinking it, and I'm watching a lot of videos and stuff, so I make sure I don't want to go out and make a mistake. I just want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. So, I think I'm overthinking it. So,
are you comfortable doing notarizations? I know you said you haven't done any, but do you know the procedure? Like, do you know what to do?
I know I stamp it as there's a certain that it's a word in it. It tell you something on this form that let you know where you're supposed to sign it at, where you're supposed to stamp it at, and everything. I know that, and then you have to sign put your commission expiration. When you sign your name, and then you put stamp with your commission on all that. I'm not sure. I looked at it. I've signed with the NNA, and I have the training for the sign agent. That was when I first started out to be a sign agent, but I don't think I want to do that just yet. But I haven't taken the test yet either. And so
I think you might could benefit from a session so we can kind of help get you on the right path. I'm not feeling like if I said, hey, can you go over there and handle this at the nursing home for me? I don't feel confident enough that you would be able to feel okay doing that. I just don't, based on our conversation. Not that you couldn't get up to speed, because it's not that hard. You got some of the verbiage down a little bit, but I think we need to reel it in just a wee bit and kind of make sure you're properly ready, because you don't want to get out there faking it till you make it, or I think maybe possible. We kind of need to know, like either you're pregnant or you're not. Either you know how to do it or you don't. Either you having a baby or you're not. Ain't no false positives when you get out there snapping papers.
Right, okay.
Because when they take the paper where it needs to go and it's not correct, then it could be very detrimental to a financial situation or any situation that they're in.
I want you to sound a little bit more confident when you tell me, okay? Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But no stress. We got you, okay? You just kind of keep listening and get in and let us help you where you feel you need us the most, okay? But I think it's going to be that basic foundation right now.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah, thank you so
My
much.
pleasure, Miss Linda. And then we got what's next?
Next, Sharon at 8:42. Sharon asks, does your courses get updated when necessary? Yes, we do add additional information if needed. In the platform that we use, they email you if we make a change or do anything. It'll send out an email to let you know.
And quite frankly, there aren't that many changes. A notary is a notary is a notary.
Unless a law change.
Unless it's a law change, and that's been since Bible times. You can go back, and I believe it's the book of Nehemiah. It was an actual notary transaction that happened, and that was 6,000 years ago. So it's nothing changed. Your state law may change something. Maybe it may be remote online notary or something, but our courses are very current, very up to date. And again, if it's something major, of course, we will update it for you. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Let's get these 2 live hands and we'll come back to our chat.
Jaquana, one of her questions is in the chat. So you can go ahead.
Go ahead, Jaquana, and then we will get Miss Lisette, and then we'll come back to Doretta in the chat. Jaquana.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I did have a question at 8:38. It was a one word. The expiration, is there an expiration date for the code, the summer code?
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. Yes, I forgot to say it. Yes, Sunday night at midnight. Okay. So yes, again, yes, thank you for asking that. That's a great Sunday night at midnight. And again, this video, you may see it on YouTube, but the code will be cut out.
Only for the people on the live will probably get the code.
Yeah, only for those that are here for the code. Okay.
Okay, and my next question, I read it somewhere. I don't think it's with you ladies, but they were saying something about like a wireless printer or a scanner. What would you need that for? I think it's for the documents, the 3 documents he was just telling about if you need copies of those. But I think you could order that from like the state website where you get your supplies. You can order it by the booklet, right? So I probably won't even need that. That's what it's for. Okay.
Well, no. We didn't say that. No, we didn't say that. So, Jaquana, you need the printers and all of that you hear people talking about is for your documents, like printing your loan signing documents. As a notary signing agent, a lot of times you're asked to print the documents. Like the one I had today for Iowa, they emailed me the document. I printed the document, took it to the signer. So that's why you need the printer and the scanner and everything, because they wanted scan back. So we had to scan back the documents. They wanted to look it over before we actually put it in the UPS envelope. Right. So those additional pieces of equipment, you will eventually need those.
Okay. It just got me when it was like wireless, because one of them was just like, oh, print out your trunk. I'm like, why would I print out my trunk? I have a printer here, but I'm like, well, why would I need one on the go?
Well, you can. That way you can even get more business. Some people, if they're doing this full time. Now, I don't have a printer in my truck, but some people who are doing this full time, they do have a full setup. My mobile setup is not like a couple I've seen on YouTube, where they have like this big old printer and paper and all that. I do have a mobile printer. It's small. I think I got a printer. I know I got 2 scanners. They're very small to scan back. So that's if you don't want to go back home. So you may, like, we prefer to go back home. But if you're really trying to be about it and you got a signing at 3 o'clock, then you got one at 5 o'clock, one at 8 o'clock, and you don't want to keep going back.
It's convenient.
Yes,
ma'am. Got you. Okay. I'm looking like, wait, what are they doing? But yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, but I function very well with not all that extra stuff. So,
and I'm not going to schedule appointments that close together. So
I wouldn't recommend it either. We do not do that.
Some people do, so that's why they have it.
Yes, I see that. Thank you, ladies.
You're welcome. And then let's get Ms. Lisette, and then we'll come back to our chat.
Okay. Hi. I got 2 questions. The first question is about the mobile scanner, because I don't have a scanner and I've been kind of using like Office Max, which I'm in Millersville, so it's pretty small, so it doesn't take me long. But of course, if I'm like in Greensboro or somewhere I have to drive back in, that's where the problem comes. So what do you all suggest? Is there something that tells me, a video or something that kind of recommends a certain type of mobile scanner? Because I noticed they usually don't scan higher than maybe 25 to 30 pages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got two. I got a Brother's, and what my other one is an Epson. It does 40 pages. That's it. It only does 40.
Okay.
So again, sometimes if it's a lot, like a refi, they need to scan back, which could be like 150 pages.
Right.
We usually come home 'cause we'll be there all night trying to do 4. And it just depends on what we got going on. But we typically, a larger package, we're coming back home to do it. Because it's just time consuming. You got to make sure you got, like the last person, Jaquana was talking about, you got to make sure you got the right Wi-Fi connection. You know, heaven forbid if something go out and you stuck trying to, at UPS or FedEx, trying to scan 40 pages at a time. So, and it's so slow. So I use my scanner for like less than 50 pages.
So less than 50 pages.
Yeah, for me. Alexis, you don't use a mobile one at all, right?
No, I use my phone. It's very fast for me to just sit there and scan it in with my phone.
But how many pages are you doing with your phone though? Not a lot, right?
No, I haven't gotten anything crazy, and I've done a whole bunch of stuff, and the max I've done maybe is 40 pages.
Okay.
Yeah. So anything over there, you probably want to just go home and do it.
Yeah, because I did one earlier before we started this, and it was 61 pages.
Ooh.
So, I do a lot of refis and I do a lot of HELOCs or what have you. So my packets, if I get a 30 page packet, I feel blessed because they're usually much higher than that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you,
ma'am.
No, I was saying, Alexis and Kim, I don't know if you guys saw it recently, but I saw one company that said not to use the scanner on your phone.
Really?
Recently, I saw that on a company's thing.
I haven't. And if they don't know how to use it, Angela, too. They may not know how.
That's probably what it is.
Because I did something the other day for a client, and Jeffrey was over there. I mean, he just jumping in his seat because he was like, why did you do it like that? Because there's the scanner app, like Alexis is younger and probably know how to do it the professional way. Mine look like a picture from my phone.
Right.
So that's why he was like, no go. And signing companies do not want that either, looking like you took a picture from your phone and then you do the scan, like email it to somebody.
Right.
Now, I do have a scanner on my phone. I just don't work it fast. So that's why I did it that way. So
right.
So there's nothing wrong with it as long as the company doesn't say anything, to Angela's point. If their instructions are clear, do not do it. I don't do anything that they say not to.
Right.
Yeah.
Not if you want to work with them.
Okay. My second question is about apostille. Because I've been watching some of your videos and I know I need to sign up for the training, but my question, Ms. Angela, is like you get general information was given about apostille. I got an idea, but if I were to purchase the training, would I probably need more than one session, or would the initial training help me? I mean, be the only one. I guess I'm trying to figure out how in depth this is because I'm pretty much self-taught. So I started my business back in 2021. And I haven't taken any formal trainings, but I come from that 30-year Department of Human Services background. So, I've been an investigator and everything. So I'm an auditor and everything. So I'm very particular about documents and things anyway. So that wasn't hard for me to transition to this. It's just now I know that I need to venture out to make to get more knowledge and be able to provide more services. And like you were saying, you got a phone call from somebody from Valdosta, and I'm like, well, heck, I'm here in Milledgeville. I should have been able to get that phone call. He should have had to call up to Atlanta. So that's why I'm saying, how in depth? Tell me what I would need to do.
So if you purchase the training, the apostille training is very thorough.
Okay.
It teaches you everything you need to know how to apostille documents in any state. And any document you get, you should be able to use the information in that training to apostille.
Okay.
Now, as far as questions later, what I usually do, if you have a general question, that's not going to take long because you took the training, I will answer the question. But if you just say, I want you to walk me through it, then we can work out an agreement as far as a fee that you would, pay me to assist you with it. So
Okay.
we also have a mentor group. So if you want to join the mentor group, you can ask any question anytime you want to and get your answer. And if we feel that we need to give you a call, we'll give you a call. But usually we'll answer all of your questions in the private mentor group chat. So yes, once you take the training, though, the training is very thorough.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that goes to the next question here. Does your courses, no, if one takes the self-paced courses and have questions, how can you get answers? So you just shoot us an email, and we prefer you make a list as you take the training and kind of send one email, not like, okay, I'm looking at this page and I'll do, send an email, look at this page. And, just kind of take all your notes. And again, it's pretty thorough. So it's very rare that we have people, needing additional help. But of course we're here, if you need something, but we're very thorough in everything we teach.
And so the benefit of joining the mentorship is that you get your questions answered quicker, like on the spot, because we all work too, and we're all busy. Like I had my last signing at 6:30 today, and the person was late, so that's why I was running late. So we're all, we still work with all of the different services that we provide, but with our mentorship group, we try really hard to make sure that we answer the questions because in real time, because they need the answers. They may be on a signing. We may have to call them. So that's really the best thing to do is to join the mentorship.
Yeah, and for those who don't know about the mentorship, because we just rolled it out a few months ago, people were begging us for it basically. And we were like, no. When we rolled it out, we wanted to make sure it was perfect. Well, not perfect, but pretty close to, what people actually needed and not just because. So with the mentorship, though, if you decide to join, it is like Angela was saying, we're available every day, 7 days a week, 7 in the morning till 9 at night. If you're stuck on an assignment, as you're building out your Google My Business page, if you're stuck. Last night's session was about ChatGPT, how to use it, how to do Google Ads. So every month is something different, every week. So we meet once a week. If you can't make the meetings, there are the replays. And then we have the replays, and the sessions are, like I said, something different every week to help grow the business. And then whatever you need during the week, we're there. So that's why you haven't seen us so much live recently. Those Monday nights, now we take those and actually focus on those that are actually trying to really grow their business. A lot of times people just want information, and we're fine with that. That's why we're hosting this tonight. But if you're actually really ready to go next level, then that's what the mentorship would be for. So let's get back to our questions. I see we have, so to answer that question about if you have a question, you just email us, okay? Then we had 853. I think we're kind of almost catching up. Michigan does not require us to use a journal or even stamp any advice. So you have to use a notary stamp. I don't care what state you're in. That's a requirement. You have to have a stamp. So I'm not sure. You might want to add a little clarity to that. As far as a journal, even though it's not required, that's what we're going to teach you to do. That's best practice. So we all have journals. Georgia does not require. Most states do not actually. You'll be surprised what you can do in this notary field. It's like the wild, wild west of notary, y'all. You can do whatever you want, but that's not how we teach. We teach you best practice. And don't call us and tell us you didn't have a journal, because sometimes what happens, just a short story, I've had it several times. All of us have. 4 or 5 years later, an attorney will reach out to you. Somebody died. Now they're looking at the estate and they're like, who was the notary? All roads lead back to the notary. I'm sure you guys heard about what happened with Elvis' house. All roads lead. If you haven't, go check that out. Elvis Presley and the notary. All roads lead back to the notary. So you always cover yourself.
Yeah.
First step, line of defense, is having that journal. Okay. And
because I've gotten calls from attorneys asking, did you notarize this for this person? Did your witnesses notarize it? Can I get an affidavit from you? So if you don't have a journal, you're not going to know the date, none of that. But when you look back in your journal with your notes, you'll remember it. So it's easier to provide the attorneys with what they need.
Yeah, so we are always going to recommend that. We'll get that 859 these last couple, and I think we should be wrapping it up. and we'll just do a little conclusion of everything, kind of wrap it up for you guys so you can walk away with the action plan. Alexis, 8:59, Jeanette?
Yeah, Jeanette says, I'm working on my notary renewal with the intention of starting a business. Which of your course offerings would you recommend I start with?
Yeah, that's going to be Notarize Like a Pro. But even before you do Notarize Like a Pro, guys, I wanted to just show you. I actually have a book I wrote for every state, how to start your notary business. So this one just happens to be for Florida. But if you're in Tennessee, California, whatever state, every state, all 50 have their own book. So you probably want to start here so you can know.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at Denise.
Thank you, Miss Denise. So it's simple. It's a simple read, but it tells you literally step by step how to start and build out the business actually. So if you're kind of still new, not sure what to do, that's what I really recommend. Start with the book I wrote for your state. This is not your state handbook. This is actually how to build out your business in your state. So that's what I recommend. Thank you, Miss Deneen. I appreciate it. And Mr. Ken got his Texas book. You guys are cool. Thank y'all. Thank you so much. And then after that, so this will be a good point for us to give you the kind of step by step for everyone that's here. So what we really recommend though is kind of learn about the business. First of all, like I said, the best way would be to start your notary business, the book, and then the next step would be the Notarize Like a Pro. If you already have your commission, if you don't have your commission, of course you want to get that. Notarize Like a Pro teach you how to properly notarize. Then if you want to do the loan signing, that would be with Alexis, the loan signing courses. They'll help prepare you for the NNA, the test over there, because you have to take that if you want that additional stream of income. And then the next thing would be for adding additional services would be that apostille piece with Angela. And again, she teaches you how to do it for all 50 states. So her apostilles do not just come from the state of Georgia, okay, nor do mine. People will send us documents to do. And as your reputation continues to grow on your page, again, like the person mentioned earlier, she's in Milledgeville. She should have, in her world, got the apostille that Angela got, but Angela's 2 hours away from here. So you see what I'm saying? So you know what you're doing. The Google will work for you too once you get your Google page set up. You may need Alexis to help build that out for you. And we actually do websites now too, basic websites, so you can have a website, a web presence. So we got you covered basically from A to Z. The only thing we don't do probably would be better is we don't actually teach right now, and it is coming, is wedding officiant is another stream of income I didn't mention, but it is coming. Angela's working on that. And then remote online notary. So we are not in that space because we don't teach what we don't know, right? I know about it. I have like 9 videos on my channel. So you want to look into it before you start spending a lot of money down that rabbit hole. But who I recommend right now, if you want to look at something, is Side Hustle Seattle's channel. She is the industry standard for remote online notary, Side Hustle Seattle. So that's what I usually tell people if you're interested in the remote space. That's the only thing we don't do. Other than that, we got you covered A to Z over here. Let's get these last few questions and we'll let you guys get out of here. Don't forget the coupon code is SUMMER, SUMMER, and that is valid till Sunday night. And you use it at the checkout, it'll take 70% off of all of the self-paced courses. And I hope that answered your question, Miss Jeanette. And let's see, let's get Yari. And I think we should be able to start wrapping it up, right?
Yeah, Yari says, what is the difference between American Association of Notaries versus the National Notary Association?
I don't know, guys. I know they're also very popular, but I've never did any business with them. I've only did everything through the NNA. And the NNA is the gold standard in the industry. Now, as far as buying your supplies, you do not have to get your supplies at the NNA. They cost more. Amazon sells everything. I have a list, affiliate link and everything at Notary Educators under supplies. They already know what your state requires. So I buy all of my supplies from Amazon. Much cheaper, okay? So I honestly can't speak to AAN because I just know they're very popular, but I've never did any business with them. Yari said she got her license from there. So yeah, I can't speak to that at all. And then Maggie says really quick, thank you, ladies. Your answers have helped me tremendously. Thank you for the Q&A. Oh, it's been our pleasure. How do you join mentorship? Everything is, Alexis
Put the link.
the link at notaryeducatorsllc.com, though, for those who may be listening to the replay, notaryeducatorsllc.com. You can join the mentorship. The books are also on that website, so just click under Start Your Business Books. Oh, she said she sees it. Thanks for putting the link too. And getting the Notary Educators app is very well. Good. Angela's working on that. And that's it. We got everybody's question. Yay! So we want to thank you all for participating and joining us this evening. We're going to see if this was beneficial. You can just do a thumbs up if you think so. That'll let us know, should we continue to do these monthly Q&As for newbies and people that may want to go next level and may have their commission and not know what to do. So it looks like everybody's saying yeah. So we'll see, can we get another one on the books for next month? But until next time, on behalf of Notary Educators, we're going to say have a good night. Again, the coupon code is SUMMER. We thank you all for being here, and it's been our pleasure. Anything else you ladies like to say?
No, just thank you for coming, you guys, and we really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Hope you can join us next time with your questions.
Yes, enjoy the rest of your weekends, and thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, we wish you guys much success out there, okay? Bye.
Bye.
Thank you again for listening to the Notary Life with Kimmi podcast. We would love to be a part of your notary journey. Please visit us at notaryeducatorsllc.com for all of your notary training needs. Also, please feel free to join the Notary Life with Kimmi YouTube channel, where Kimmi has over 400 videos that will help you to grow and build a successful notary business. Until the next episode, we wish you much success on your journey. Bye.